My name is Zen Hathaway. My wife and I live on Foothill Drive. And Price, you must have known what I was going to say. I have the same echo. Quit complaining. We have been property owners up here for 12 years now. We've only been up here living for 2 years. But during those 12 years, we've seen the progress that's been made. I'd sure hate to see that progress get knocked down. We need to keep going. It's going, from everything I can see, it's going just really, really well. Our town council, everybody that's working for the town is working very hard. And we need to give them more support rather than doing the complaining. So I'm with you, Price. Let's quit the complaining. Let's get to work and do some action and volunteer and contribute time, effort, and even money if we need to. I'm for keeping this town the way it is. I like it.
Hi, my name is Rod Mills, and I am working as a civil engineer with the water district. And I just wanted to take an opportunity and clarify a few points and give you a little update about what is happening with the water district. Since it was formed, and I know there's some controversy about all of that, we have worked very hard on behalf of this community to get funding in place to improve the systems. And I can tell you we have the support of the state of Utah in the form of a financial package which includes almost $700,000 in grant money, which will be used by this community to improve the water system. Another component of the financing which is coming online by virtue of support by an agency of the federal government that is all set up to support rural communities to help them improve their own systems. That particular funding package is of equal value to the state's package and will probably involve even higher levels of grant money than the state's piece. Why are they giving you this money? Because these improvements save all of the government agencies money over time. When systems are properly constructed in the right manners, they actually get that money back over time. And so they're willing to support you and your community to improve your water system. As a factual matter, since it came up in the meeting, I am personally talking to the folks who tell you what ISO rating your community has. I have asked them on behalf of this community, and they have agreed to hold off to the extent possible on raising your rating. Now I will tell you, my experience mostly comes in the form of I'm taking a community from a 9 to a 5. And I can tell you what happens in that case. You have the potential to go the opposite direction. But I'll tell you what happens the other way. What generally happens when you go from a 9 to a 5, you save approximately 50% of whatever you're paying on your homeowner's insurance on the fire component, in rough order of magnitude. It'll vary a little bit for every single person because it's a pro rata, but to just help you understand what those ratings mean, going from a 9 to a 5 is a risk for your insurance company. And what they're basically saying in the rating is the lower the number, the lower the risk. So the higher the number, the more you will pay for your homeowner's insurance for fire protection. And it's in the magnitude, the numbers we're now talking about, and I am personally trying to negotiate on your behalf, approximately a 5 to a 9 is in rough order of magnitude a 50% change in what they view as their risk. And that may affect you about 50%, it may affect you a little differently. Every carrier sort of makes their own decisions about that. But that's my factual experience on that piece. And again, I'm used to taking communities from a 9 to a 5, and I'm in new territory here with you having the potential of going from a 5 to a 9. I'm working every day to see to it that you have a very good water system. You have the support of multiple agencies. We have support at the county levels, at the state level, at the federal level, to move forward to make this system the kind of system that will be safe and reliable for you folks for as long as we can possibly manage it, and for as long as I live, most certainly, because I intend for it to last really nicely for at least 50 years. And if I last that long, I'll be somewhere else, sitting in a rocking chair somewhere. So I just want you to know that we have wonderful momentum. We have support. There's other things on the horizon for us in terms of water resources. We're trying to get a handle on what we actually have as a resource, both in the ground and around us, so that we can manage that effectively. That may affect a whole lot of other things, but we want to do it in a sustainable manner, and we're working very hard to do that. So I just hope that we're given the opportunity to continue moving this effort forward.
Oh, thank you. I was asked by a neighbor of mine who is not capable of verbalizing what she would like to say. She would like to know, is it a possibility that we could have our own ambulance and our own police department at some time in the future?
I'm going to tell you that's a question that you as a community have to answer. Because right now, our tax base, we don't have the revenue to provide those services. If the community wants those services, then the town can move forward. We can find out financial burdens of those services. And if you're willing to pay the tax dollars, those services can be brought in and offered into the community. But that's something that the community has to pay for. It's not something that, it's like our county administrator said, it's not something that's going to come in free gratis. It's not going to be something that everybody else in the county pays for. It's going to be something that we pay for.
And so if we disincorporate, her question basically was, if we disincorporate, the response times will still be the same.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you this right now, and this has kind of been thrown out there a little bit, that the council's been bashing Hilldale, and nothing can be farther from the truth. We have an interlocal agreement with the city of Hilldale and Colorado City to help with fire service. They get dispatched, they respond before we do. We respond at the same time so that everybody arrives and we do what needs to be done. As far as their medical is concerned, I think everybody witnessed last week when we tried to have our meeting and Mr. Olson had his unfortunate heart attack. They were here. They responded. They provided the service to take care of him. Those services they charge for, they charge your insurance company. When they come here to pick you up, they haul you down. That's a charge that comes back that they get paid for through your insurance.
And the police department part of that?
Right now, police is furnished by the county as part of our county tax. And if the city chooses to, or the town chooses to increase that service, we have the ability to do that. We have the ability to budget for and hire an officer to be out here full time if we choose to do that. But the cost to do that is about $80,000 a year per officer.
Was that what you wanted to say? Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
So if those are services that the community wants, then they're certainly available, and there's certainly ways to find to do it. But I can guarantee you, in order to pay for those services, there will be an increase in our taxes to do so.
Okay.
I'm Jan Hershey. I live on the highway. There are just a couple of items that I would like to clarify. Number one, every ordinance, every resolution is reviewed by our attorney. everyone, to make sure that everything is absolutely legal. The other thing is when somebody has, makes a comment during the public comment time, the council cannot make, they can't really act on that. They're not allowed to do that. It's part of the rules of how meetings are run. They just can't, okay? I also want to say that while some of us are not quite as active as we used to be, I know exactly how much time each of these people is putting in. It isn't just the meeting time. It's in preparation for the meeting time. The number of hours that these people are volunteering, and I do call it volunteering, even if you have some small stipend, the number of hours that they are putting in is just phenomenal. There are also many, many, many people who are adding to this community who are under the radar, who don't want their names out there, who don't want to know, you know, they just want to do things for the town without any recognition. And for those people, I truly bless them. Thank you so much.
Hi. Most of you know me. I'm Mary Reap. I was the original mayor of the town of Apple Valley, and I'm proud to say that I served with many of the people on the council today. And when this rumor goes around that you don't get any input into the ordinances, let me tell you about the experience we had with our subdivision ordinances. The counties were just not up to par. They didn't look after our interest of what the community out here wanted. And when we started working on subdivision ordinances, we'd have meetings to pass one, and people would show up and talk about what they wanted. And everybody I served on in the council would take notes, and we'd go back and massage those ordinances to try to make them fit the majority of what the people wanted and what was in the best interest of the town. For an example, Debbie Groves brought up during one meeting when we had developers here, before we got all of our ordinances in place, that they had this tower at the road that looked like a prison tower, and that really didn't go with our community. So the ordinances now reflect that those things have to be within a certain condition. Thank you, Debbie. I really appreciate your input. As far as the code enforcement officer goes, I can tell you every Sunday morning I got calls about dogs chasing rabbits, kittens in yards where they shouldn't be. I got told about pit bulls chasing kids to the bus stop. I got told about a pack of wild dogs that was coming through, killing chickens, killing other dogs, killing cats, chasing the kids, and something had to be done. So we did something about it based on those complaints. And many of those complaints are coming from the people who had the disincorporation petition going. So whether they like it or not, they helped form our community. And damn it, they did a good job, because we've got good ordinances where people have to be responsible. If you want to get rid of your code enforcement officer, become responsible, take care of your issues, and nobody else has to get involved. As far as Curtis Gubler getting booked into jail, I don't know if he did or he didn't, but I know the code enforcement officer didn't book him in. She doesn't have the authority. He went to court. The judge, once it's at court, decides what's going to happen. And many, many times, if you have more than one citation, he orders you a book and release. You go get booked, you get released to create a record. And probably that's what happened. I will know by tomorrow. So if any of you want to know, call me tomorrow afternoon and I'll tell you. You know, and I tell you what, I'm really tired of the attacks on personal people and their personal issues. Everyone up here has gone through it. I went through it when I was mayor. And gosh, I haven't been mayor in a while, but my son came home today and our whole family had a great laugh. Because the biggest rumor now is that my husband and I are getting divorced. That's a thing that is being passed around through the town. We've been married 34 years just last week. My daughter's here. Gary's here. We're having a wonderful wedding and we're having a grand old time with our family. And, you know, That is a good man I'm married to, and he thinks I'm a good woman, and it'll be hell freezing over before we get divorced. So, I'm tired of the rumors, I'm tired of the personal attacks, and I think those people need to shut their bullshit up, or maybe deal with consequences of it going the other way through lawsuits. I'm really tired of it, and I think these people probably are too. If you're going to tell stuff, tell the truth. Thank you.
I think I'd like to maybe wrap this up for all of us in concern. How many of you participated on any kind of team activity? Show of hands. Football, baseball, soccer, tennis, what? At school, away from school, at work? What is a team? A team is where we all... Yeah. Emotions. That's where a lot of the garbage came from. Emotions. Huh? Did I show it? I have emotions. We all have emotions. Get yourselves up for those who have an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Some of us are retired. Some still work. Some have families and children. I have 4 children. They're all raised through college, have their own families. They have their own thing. I can volunteer. I help. Why do I help? Because I want to help. Not because I expect something in return. Get up off your relaxed butts and help. Work as a team, not as 2 rams.
My name is Louis Ford. Yeah. Emotions. When you get old, you bawl a lot. Anyway, Marcia lets me live with her. 1903. Ronette. That's my wife, by the way. This place was put together by volunteers. A lot of hard-working volunteers. They collected the money. They come down here every day, put this place together. That's what we need to see again, volunteers. We had 6 people in here certified, Fire 1. What happened? What happened? Some stupid rumor got started, or somebody's feelings got hurt. Who knows? I don't know. But it can turn around. Just like people have said here, we got to get together. I'll always be grateful.
I know it's not an answer to the annexation question.
I'll try and answer your annexation question. If the town becomes dissolved, then our borders are open. There's nothing here to stop anybody from doing it. Will they? I don't know. I can't answer that question. Is it a possibility? Yes. Is it possible for a developer to come in and buy a section of ground in the middle of town and say he wants to create his own city? If he goes to the county and the county says he can do it feasibly, then they'll create a town in the middle of our town, and there you go, you'll have one. So it's a possibility. Will it happen? I don't know. I can't answer that question. But it is a possibility. Did anybody have any other questions or comments they'd like to make this evening?
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure, Rod.
I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. If this project goes forward, it's going to disrupt a lot of the roadways. We're going to be digging pipelines throughout the whole town and the area here. It's a little unprecedented, but we have asked if our funding could be used to improve the roadways once we've made a mess of them with the pipelines. And our funding agencies at this point are doing this. And so a lot depends on how favorable the environment is for bidding and how much it actually costs to lay the pipe relative to the funding that we have in place. But if we have money, as we get through digging up the roads, we can conceivably use those to improve them. I'm not being real specific about that because I know we don't have enough money to lay asphalt on every single road we're going to disrupt. But we may on selected basis be able to improve some pieces even to asphalt. But I think, again, if everything smiles on us and the bids go well, we might be able to improve virtually all of the roadways that we impact with the pipeline.
If there are no further comments or questions, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you for attending this evening. If you have any questions or need any information, the town clerk's up here. We'll be here for a few minutes. Thank you again for attending.